Thanks for coming back for another episode. So, last episode I talked about the Skydio a little bit, right? As it sits in the hierarchy of dronage. But today we're going to actually get out there in the field and we're going to play with it, right? So, yeah, let's do that. So, what do you actually get in the Skydio kit? Well, this is the Skydio Pro Kit. It's about the top of the line option. Right? This is what a professional you would get multiple of these, one for each of your pilot if you had a drone service provider business. Very nice, waterproof, hard case. One good thing about the case, and this is really cool, using AI that we'll talk about more, but I briefly talked about it. So AI will locate this in the camera. It will see this image, and it knows when it sees this image, this is where I'm supposed to land. So as the drone is coming down and you tell it to land, it will see, you can see it in the application, that it will draw a augmented reality circle around here, rotating, saying, hey, I'm going to land, and then it will show a shadow representation of your drone, not the actual drone, but like a shadow image, and it will show it lock onto that, and it will come down and it will land on this, gentle as a bug every time. It's amazing. So you don't have to carry around a helipad that I carry, like a mobile helipad that unfolds and you put it out on the ground. Don't need to do it. Just set your case down, right? It's waterproof. It's not going to get dirty or anything. So when you open it up, obviously you have the drone in here. One thing I should say about this drone, it is awesome, but the one thing that will be tragic in this drone is if these cameras were to get dirty. So every time in the SOP, you have to make sure that you clean these cameras every time you fly. I put the cleaning cloth right over this back camera and sort of tuck it into here just as a reminder that before I touch this drone, and as I was going to pick it up, right, my hand would touch this sensor or be very close to it. I want to make sure I don't get any of my finger grease. I don't want to make sure I don't get any of my finger grease on this sensor. So, so inside the case, obviously the drone. One of the things I wanted to show you about the battery is they're very cool. This is a magnetic lock, right? So they're very strong magnets. And if you look at the battery itself, it's got your typical indicator where you push the button, it'll show you how much charge is on the battery. These are fully charged. It's got, the connection there, and you just plop it up on the upside of the battery and it grabs very firmly via magnetic. It's rubberized on the bottom. So this is actually your landing pad, right? So this is the surface that the drone actually lands on. It doesn't have wheels or a landing pad per se. Right, so interesting design, comes with all, the charger, all your cables. This is cool. So this is the beacon. Never seen this before, but in any drone, commercially available, but this is a very cool thing. So when you turn this on, this little beacon has a connection to the drone. It always knows where this beacon is. So if I put this beacon in my pocket and walk around, the drone is going to follow me without any further instructions, and it's always going to know where I am. With this remote, I can order it around the sky. I could say go up, down. I could drive it that way. I could also have it orbit me or follow an object further, closer, higher, lower. So we'll play around with this later. Now this is something that I probably wouldn't let my field techs have immediately if they were out doing surveys. Too much temptation, and you can get in trouble with this. I have. We'll talk about that later. And I'm not the only one. So anyway, it's a very cool thing, more of a cinematic feature. And then you've got a controller. The controller itself looks very familiar to the Pilot Amphi controller, right? That's because there is a partnership between Amphi, or between Parrot and Skydio. They produce their drone. It's the exact same drone. If you look on the back, it'll probably say Parrot. Yeah, see, it says Parrot under there. This one is the controller that's used with the Amphi. It's also used with the Disco, which is the fixed-wing, delta-wing drone, which is a fantastic product. No longer available. They sold off for the big money to SenseFly. It's got a tablet mount, very well thought out tablet mount. It mounts kind of in a very simple but cool way to the controller. Allowed me to use my iPad mini. I'm sure it would go all the way up to size of the full size iPad, but I use a mini. specifically. So that's what you get in the kit. It also comes with, inside the kit, you've got a full complement of ND filters, 8 through 32, on those sunny days flying up in the sky, and I've already busted into it. And then you've got some replacement propellers. These are not cheap propellers. They're very well-made propellers, well-designed propellers. But, like all propellers, these things are about the first thing that's going to break on your drone. So got a good amount of spare replacements, 3 specifically. Hopefully I don't ever have to use them. So that's the kit. That's the Skydio Pro Kit. And it's about $2,400, between $2,000 and $2,400. Anyway, that's it. So let's get it out in the field. Let's see what this bad boy can do. Image quality is really, really nice. Has mixed emotions about the Parrot Controller, right? This is a blatant ripoff. It says Skydio, but if you look on the back, it does say Parrot for the Amphi as well as the the Disco. I got no complaints with this remote control. The autonomy more than makes up for it. Really, I would use this for inspections. Yeah, it is absolutely beyond, if you're on a skateboard or a bike or moving object, filming yourself cinematically. But from an inspection standpoint, right, the idea is to put pilots that haven't been doing it for 100 years behind the stick and get them to inspect something safely and land that robot 100% of the time. And the Skydio absolutely fulfills that requirement. At least as far as I can see. Now, it's very easy to make a mistake with the beacon. I would never issue field techs doing mapping of the beacon just because there's an opportunity to get fancy and jack something up. I landed it on my roof. So did my friend Rob. Did the exact same thing, and I'm not going to go into the embarrassing detail, but it's possible using the beacon, right? Full stick at that tree. It's trying to find a way up.
Dude, he's like right up on it.
I'm just full stick forward, not even.
Whoa, cool. What's the range on it?
It's not super long, but it's enough.
That little adjustment was sick. It literally went boom.
Yeah, so that's all fun and games. The autonomy is beyond belief. It's absolutely astounding, and it's they're doing it better than anybody else right now. So I'll give them that. But what about in the real world, right? I wouldn't buy this to film myself on a skateboard. I would buy this to do actual real work that paid bills. So I took it out on some real world scenarios just to see how it would do, how it would perform compared to my Phantom 4, which is really my frame of reference. And I was impressed. So I think you will be too. So here we go, real world. Well, there you have it, the Skydio2. It's a fine robot in my opinion. I approve. And I intend on investing heavily into their technology. They do have a new one coming out, the X2. It is more of a military type drone, although it's not really military. They have a military version and a civilian, but it is a folding drone, longer flight time, and it does have the infrared, thermal infrared sensor on it, so you can see both heat and night and day. And it is supposed to be very cool, but I haven't seen it yet. Don't know how much it's going to cost. So there you have it. Hope you all have a great day, and we will talk to you soon.